Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to JT's Vending Services LLC's YouTube/TikTok channel. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. And again, all it takes is my wife to be here to always do something to distract me from doing this video. And here she comes.
It's your boy, John Lee Hilliard Jr. from JT's Vending.
This is why I have a hard time doing this stuff. This is why I should do it during the daytime when she's not around.
Cool.
Stop touching your eyeball with your nasty baby hands. Because you're gonna make it sick.
Yeah.
Daughter standing touching her eyeball with her freaking dirty baby fingers. So why stop? Because you're gonna freaking have pink eye. Night, Charlie. Love you. Alright, now my wife and daughter are going upstairs and they can freaking leave me alone. Thought they were going to Yaya out of town. They going next weekend. Anyway. So continue to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You see more of this kind of weird stuff with our daily devotionals and financial budgeting things. But with that being said, let's jump into this day devotional. So the title of this day devotional for July 10th, Friday, 2026 is entitled Stronger Than Samson. Boy, Samson was a character, I'll tell you that much. And he was very thirsty and called on the Lord and said, "You have given this great deliverance into the hands of your servant. And now shall I die of thirst and fall into the hand of the uncircumcised." But God split a hollow place that is in Lihem, and water came out of it. And when he drank, his spirit came again, and he was renewed. Judges chapter 15, verses 18 and 19. So, after taking out a mass of Philistine soldiers with a makeshift weapon, the jawbone of a donkey, if you hadn't read it, Samson sang a brief song. With the jawbone of a donkey, heaps on heaps, with the jawbone of a donkey, I have slain 1,000 men. You can read that in Judges 15, verse 16. Then he realized he was thirsty, which may have been an aspect of God's discipline on the willful judge of Israel. So Samson he wasn't the judge how we think of judges today. He was like a chieftain, a ruler, a tribal leader. And God called him, yes, to destroy the Philistines. But Samson, he wasn't straight. Samson, he was lustful, hence getting his hair cut off by the prostitute. He was compulsive, horrible temper. He did things based off how he felt. I mean, he if you read in Judges, he killed 30 men just for their clothes. He went out to people and like, I'm gonna do to you, I'm not gonna stop until I kill all y'all and do what you did to me. Revenge. So he was a character. But again, no matter how much we are characters in our lives, God still had mercy on him. So anyway, let's keep reading. Samson's thirst was a natural effect of the great pains he had taken. This came from a writer named John Wesley. And perhaps there was the hand of God therein to chastise him for not making mention of God in his song. He did not mention God at all. And to keep him from being proud of his own strength, thinking that his strength alone is what helped him defeat the Philistines. So when you read Judges, understand that Samson's hair was only a sign of God's strength. His promise that he made to his mother, to Samson's mom, about never cutting his hair. But God's grace and mercy with that strength of his hair never being cut and that was his promise, that wasn't the source. Because even when he got his hair cut, it started to grow back. The Bible mentions his hair is starting to grow back. But what it was his faith in the promise that God had made to his mom. But inwardly, the Philistines made Samson's outside match his inside. Samson didn't truly care for God. He cared for the ability and the strength that God had given him. So, even when he got his hair cut, he ultimately felt that God had left him, but he had already left God a long time ago. So anyway, even Samson's prayers above has an edge to it. He seemed exhausted or exacerbated by his thirst and God's abandonment of him. But in his mercy, God mercilessly provided water. That's an amazing thing about God. He often blesses us with good things even when we fail him. When our hearts are cold and distracted by willful sin, and then calls us to acknowledge his blessings. So today, let's root out any attitude and action that might separate us from God. If we can consistently do that, we'll be stronger than Samson ever was. Now, at the end of Samson's life, he actually, they never mentioned, Samson, according to scripture, had never prayed to God. But when they gouged out his eyes, made him grain meal like an animal, and put him between the pillars, he prayed to God at that moment. And he killed more Philistines. It was 3,000 on the roof, 5,000 in the stadium. He killed a lot of Philistines at the end of his life when God gave him that second chance to do life right, do what he had called Samson to do. And that was the only time the scripture had mentioned Samson actually prayed, like solid prayer. Out of conviction. But God used him at the end of his life. Imagine Samson's life if he would have yielded his life to God before he was killed and got his hair cut and played around with Delilah. So anyway, our quote for today comes from J.I. Packer. He says, "The prayer of a Christian is not an attempt to force God's hands, but a humble acknowledgement of helpfulness and dependency on him." So for further consideration, of deeper thought, when you get some time to yourself, think about this. When has God given you a second chance after you messed up everything? And for a practical application, how can we prevent God's mercies from slipping out of our memories? Continue to show gratitude. But our prayer, guys, is simple tonight, and it's, Lord, thank you for stepping in and undoing the spiritual catastrophes that I have created in my life. Help me to never take your unending grace for granted. May God add a blessing to the hearers and the doers of his word. Truly appreciate you guys tuning in, man. I thank you for just rocking with us on our YouTube channel. If you're on our TikTok and you see this video, do me a favor and jump over to our YouTube channel, subscribe, and just help support our ministry and what we do. Teach biblical principles about finances, how to be good stewards of whatever God has blessed you with. So, and if it's on your heart, hit that. Go to our YouTube channel, hit that super sticker button, and again, donate whatever God puts on your heart. And if it's in your budget, go ahead and pick one of those tiers. We have 3 tiers that you want to subscribe to, and again, all of that goes toward God's ministry, serving his people and living his will. So I love you guys. Please stay tuned. I got some more videos coming up tomorrow, and have a blessed night. Be safe. Au revoir. A bientôt. À la prochaine.